Hello, fellow woodturners, and welcome once again to another episode of The Naked Turner. Today, I'm going to be turning a piece of Jarrah Burl from Australia, which the other day, I think it was Thursday evening, I got home from work and there was a package waiting for me, and it happened to be from Ireland, from a dear friend of mine by the name of Alan Simpson, who was gracious enough, and I was actually floored by the generosity that he had sent me this wood. He sent me a piece of boxwood and a piece of this Jarrah Burl. And today I'm going to actually be trying to turn this Jarrah Burl into a small canister. It's about 2 3/4 inch around by about, what is this, about 8 inches long. And it's a beautiful piece of this Jarrah Burl. Alan, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and from one wood turner to another. You are truly a special individual. The level of generosity that you showed by sending this all the way from Ireland to me here in California, unbeknownst to me, just floored me. I got home and I was like a kid in a candy shop. It was like having Christmas all over again. So I want to thank you, truly thank you, for your special level of generosity and kindness, and I hope you're doing well. I'm going to show you this piece now. I have kind of turned it into a cylinder, and I'm going to be sanding and applying some finish, but I wanted to show the piece of stock before I got too far. Okay, so here's this piece of Jarrah Burl that I have roughed into a cylinder, and the end slightly flattened off, but I want to leave some of this rough edge is going to be the top of the lid that I make for this box. I'll probably be parting it somewhere around here to create the upper removable lid, and then I'll be hollowing this out. It has a lot of voids from being a burl, which I'm hoping I will be able to just kind of smooth out and leave natural like this. I really like the look of it. It's got an incredible color and all kinds of wild grain from being so gnarly and burly like this. So I'm going to do a little bit more sanding and maybe a little bit more face parting here, maybe some shear scraping, in order to get this end just a little bit nicer before I start applying some finish. Oh, don't forget, always wear your safety, especially wear your face and eye safety, and lung safety. I'm going to be sanding and doing a little bit of finish on this, and then you will get to see just how much this grain really pops on this piece. And this Jarrah is apparently spelled Jarrah, and this is a piece of Jarrah Burl. I have never even heard of this type of wood before, but man, is it beautiful, and we'll get to see it kind of come to life here in a couple minutes. Some of my subscribers have been wondering what type of bowl gouge I use. I use this P&N Australian tool, which this is very interesting because this is an Australian tool and an Australian piece of wood, so they should enjoy being together again. I put this in a Hosoluk tool handle, and I really love this combination of tool. It's got I put an Irish grind with swept back wings on it, and it works extremely well. I'm actually going to take this in and sharpen this up a bit, and then I will get to doing some turning. Alright, a little bit of shear scraping on the end here. Nice. Alright, that looks good. Move this tailstock. Alright. Now I'm going to bring my tool rest around to the end here, and I'm going to do a little bit of scraping on this end with my 1/2 inch by 1/4 scraper, or 3/16 scraper. Take a look at that. Okay. Alright, I think that's good. With a little bit of sanding, I'm going to do a tiny bit more scraping here. Block that off. Increase the speed considerably. So I'm running the speed up here right now. Around 2,000 RPM. And I'm trying to pretty much leave as much of this wood as I can because it's so beautiful. I just want to respect the beauty in the wood. Alright, a little sanding on this end of the burl end grain here. And I think that'll be ready for some parting and hollowing the inside out. So here I am applying some more of my finish, and wanted to kind of flip the camera around to give you a better view of the end grain of the actual burl ends kind of poking out of the end of the half or partially natural edge of this canister piece. And when I started putting the finish on, I was just blown away by all the figuring and how beautiful this piece of burl is. This is actually the first time I've ever turned any real super burly stuff. I've turned some other pieces that had a few little burl swirls in them, and they were of softer wood type. And so this is kind of my first piece of burl, and I have to say I'm definitely going to be looking for more of it because it is just incredible. Alright, so I just put some finish on it, and actually I'm going to back my tool rest away and put a little bit more finish on it, because just like Alan was saying, Alan, you were right, this stuff does drink up some finish, and that's because there's so many voids in it. The wood itself is really hard, so it's not actually absorbing much finish, but there are all of these recesses that are drinking up the finish. And now I'm going to buff it out, turn it up, and we'll put a high gloss on this now. What do we got here? Okay, we're going to go up to 2,000 RPM. Let's do a real quick varnish on this. Come out here and get the end as well. There we go. Beautiful. That is an incredible piece of wood. Thank you so much, Alan. This is really a treat to turn. Very fun. I think it's going to turn out nice. Alright. So I'm going to be parting off and making a tenon for the lid here, which I'll be doing somewhere around that zone. Forward gear. Once again, what I'm doing, I'm leaving a small shoulder on the canister side so that I know right where my lid tenon stops at. It'll give me a spot to ease on up to as I'm going to fit the lid. Stop that for a second. Looks pretty good. Tiny little bit of sand inside of there. Let's go down to low speed. A little bit of sanding right there. That's all that needs. Got a little bit of tear out right there, but I think once that's... I may try to get rid of that right now. See if I can get rid of that tear out right there. Okay, good. I got rid of most of that tear out. Let's move the camera over this way just a little bit. There we go. Now you can see this little shoulder that I left here. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. So, a little bit of finish down in here. This out of the way. There we go. That's good. That's ready for parting that off. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to part the lid off now. Getting a little vibration because I don't have a steady rack here. think what I'm going to do here, so I don't damage my lid, is cut that off with my handsaw. There we go. Burlwood lid. It's looking nice. All right. Now we'll be moving on to doing some hollowing. All right, so here I am set up with my tailstock clamped down. I'm going down to about 350 RPM. And I'm going to bore out the middle of this with my torsion bit. Well, the end of my boring, I should say, and now I'm going to be using my scrapers and gouges to do the inside edge of this, and I'll show you when that's finished. Alright, so now my battery's about to run out, but I'm coming in here and I have this edge left that shows me the end of my tenon, so I'm going to come in pretty close to it. Do some hollowing. Alright, I sharpened up my scraper a bit. See how nice it is when you leave that little edge? You sneak right up to it. You get a really nice fit. Okay, a little bit of sanding, and that's going to be perfect. Alright, so now I'll just smooth out the inside, and that'll be done. I'll show you when I finish parting it off. Alright, I'm using my parting tool to get up inside of here. That's working really nicely. Alright. Now, let's check that. Just a little bit of sanding in there. Maybe a tiny bit more with my parting tool, and then that'll be ready. Alright, so here it is. The finished Burl canister. Thank you very much, Alan. It did drink up quite a bit of finish, but it came out really, really nice. I love it. Gorgeous burl wood. Jarrah Burl wood from Australia.